Hey, 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 hey. What's everybody up to? Always staying warm? Lord, honeys, this one's going to be a doozy. Where's this author from? Nina, have you been able to talk to Ashley? Fancy, this book is right up your alley, honey. Demons and boogie bears and the four horsemen and every first herb. Yes. When Ashley Hayton isn't working, running her household, or trying to conquer the world, you will notice she's an avid book reader, especially if you throw in a why choose romance, aka reverse sound, with paranormal love interest and a hint of kink. Ashley always finds a creative outlet for all of her extra energy, whether it's her experimenting with new recipes, painting a landscape, running off to an impromptu beach trip with an impromptu beach trip with her kids, going headfirst into shenanigans with her friends, or designing a new tattoo she wants to get. Her imagination is always overflowing with ideas. Who needs sleep anyway? Uh, Ashley Hayton resides in Ocala, Florida, so she doesn't have an excuse. With her husband, kids, and 2 dogs. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Y'all, I can't quit yawning. Yawning. No, she's not too far from you, but she ain't real close to you. Yeah, it's gonna be a doozy, and it takes place in NOLA. NOLA. So, where is everybody? Anybody message Jack A? Somebody needs to check on Shirley. We haven't checked on Shirley, have we? Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and get started because it's 8:06. Yeah, this is what my hair looks like a mess. Well, actually, she's supposed to cut it to make it look like it's like a mess, like messy hair. She ain't cutting enough off of it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and then y'all can do whatever you got to do, and hopefully more people will join us. See if you can message her, Nina. All right, it's called True Calling, an apocalyptic Why Choose Romance, Paranormal Paragons, Book 1, Chapter 1. It had been an overcast and humid evening in New Orleans, but that hadn't stopped my best friends, Tatiana, Cerise, and I, from hitting what seemed like 75% of the bars on Bourbon Street that evening. That's not hard to do. Something. Cheers, let's get drunk. It was French for let's get drunk, whatever that is. My petite purple haired Fitch, half witch, half Faye best friend Cerise, whom I lovingly call Cherry, had been cracking jokes all evening. I like that Fitch, half Faye, half witch. Had been cracking jokes all evening and trying out different spells on fellow bar patrons, all of which were going hilariously wrong. Cherry and I were already 2 sheets to the wind with all the drinks we'd consumed, which made things even more diabolically funny. Of course, my vodka-loving other bestie, Tati, who was a dark fae, was barely feeling any buzz, but that didn't seem to stop her spirits from soaring. This new guy of hers really did have her whole heart. She was floating on cloud 9. Recently, Tati became engaged to the love of her life, a light fae named Frederick, in a whirlwind romance. All Romeo and Juliet, star-crossed lovers, real romantic, like from what Tati has explained. He apparently comes from some kind of American royalty, light fae family, and is loaded. Not that Tati cares. She has her dark fae family making a shit ton of rubles on their own in her homeland of Russia. I may have only met Freddie a couple of times previously, but I tell you one thing, her engagement ring is a stunner. Kind of it's distracting, isn't it? Okay, whatever. Also, if he picked a girl like Tati, at least I know he has good taste all around. So, hence, us 3 gals were off for an impromptu bachelorette party weekend to bar hop, dance, and devour our way through too much gumbo and beignets for our own good to celebrate Tati's engagement. I'm trying to see who's reading what so I get my voices right. I think this is Cherry. Come on, slowpokes. I swear, Verity, if you both don't pick up the pace, I'm leaving you behind. I want to hit up a hoodoo place and get our fortunes read before everywhere closes up and militia or KGB kick us off the streets. Oh, okay, so maybe that was the other way around. All right, we're going with it anyway. My violet-eyed pal hollered at me, all conspiratorial. Good grief, Tati. You went to college with us. I know you know the term popos. There will be no Russian police or KGB or whoever chasing us down here. I whined back melodramatically. Don't have a hissy fit. You know our legs aren't as long as yours. I should have read that in some Russian, shouldn't I? But we both know that ain't gonna work. You might have let's see, wait a minute. I gotta take my time and swing these hips. Work with what I got, accentuate the positive and all that jazz. You might have a ring on it, but I'm still looking for Mr. Right now. I've never had a problem meeting guys. Somehow my tattoos and neon red hair drew them to me like a moth to a flame. However, I have been told, regardless of my hourglass figure, small but perky tits, and fat ass, that my smart ass mouth and the knives I keep strapped to my thighs seem to send them running away before too long. I guess some guys just can't handle a bad girl. And thus, I've been on a sexual dry spell for a full year now. Yes, I think I am turning into a born-again virgin, whether I want to or not. I looked back to tug Cherry with me when I noticed she'd stopped to check her phone. So sorry, my Tatiana dear. Cherry apologized. I just got a text from my new partner. We have Another case with pie, something about an illegal breeding farm for chupacabras down in Baton Rouge. He's swinging by to get me first thing in the morning. Y'all go on ahead. I'm going back to the room to sober up and my mint jaw toddy. Please don't be mad. I love you heaps, Lapchuka. Lapochuka. Lord, these words. Lord, help me, these words. I'm sorry, sweetie pie, in her native tongue. Really, sorry, sweetie pie, in her native tongue. Really, Cherry, laying it on thick there, aren't you? Cerise elbows me in the ribs as I let out a little oomph. My sarcastic little friend is a powerhouse of strength when she wants to be. Her training at PI, Paranormal Investigation and Enforcement, has her kicking ass and taking names on the regular. No rest for the weary, I guess. Tatiana and I hug her goodbye. It appears Tati and I are off on our adventure alone. We had been scouting around some random side streets when I felt a pull toward a dark alley cut through. Under a blinking gaslit street light, I saw an overhanging sign which read, Mama Duval's Conjure Shop. And under it, in smaller print, read, Hoodoo Spiritual Supplies, Candles, Oils, Mojo Bags, Boots, Sachet Powders. And in even smaller print under that read the words, in fortunes. Bam, thank you, ma'am, fortunes. it split there at the end of the sentence. Just what we needed to make our homegirl happy. Besides, the sooner we knocked out her wish of to-do list in New Orleans, the better. I really needed to get back to our hotel and sleep off this upcoming hangover. Maybe I should have asked my magical friend Cherry to cast a quick spell over me, but when it came to my gal pal, her spells had a tendency to go sideways. So maybe scratch that idea. I'm glad she's a Fey Witch hybrid, but since I am just a regular old human, I can't easily fix myself if she accidentally turns me into a braying donkey in her attempts to stop my impending headache. Oh, and that is a very real possibility. I shiver to think. When Cherry and I were in college, Tati came in mid-semester freshman year as our new dorm mate. Tatiana was a Russian foreign exchange student and a legit full dark fae. One might think it odd, with me being a normal human, rooming with two supernaturals. But I guess you could say I got a free pass to all things otherworldly when I met these two hellions. Within a month of rooming with both of them, the girls convinced me to make a blood sworn pact with them, pricking each other's fingers and holding hands. And what I thought was just a stupid drunken dare was actually a way for them to form a blood connection with me that allowed them to spill all their secrets without fear I would expose them. Basically, I was sworn to secrecy after we swapped blood. From that point on, we were like real sisters. The fraternity down the road even referred to us as the Tequila Triad because we could fuck, party, and drink with the best of them. God, were those the days. You see, Tati wasn't the stereotypical fae one reads about all tall, skinny, or giggly and whatnot. No, our Tati was a violet-eyed, long-legged, plus-size blonde bombshell. She blamed it on her loved vodka and pierogies, but no guy complained, not if they valued keeping their twig and berries in place. Even even with her no nonsense standoffish mannerisms, the fact that she lived in all shades of pink made her more approachable than she anticipated. Her side of the dorm room looked like Glinda the Good Witch furnished it herself. The rain starting. 2 inches of rain in the next 24 hours. Yikes. Um, Tati even jokingly referred to her vagina as Glinda the Good Bee. I swear it wouldn't surprise me to find out that Tati got her landing strip bedazzled. The girl was a trip, but at least she was fun to party with. Well, when she wasn't out kicking ass and raising the dead. Tati's family came from a long line of fairies specializing in necromancy in Russia. If the price was right, she could turn a person into a vampire and thus increase a coven's wealth. However, if things went badly or if the turned person wasn't worthy in the end, the fate stepped in and the result was the creation of a walking dead, as in legit zombie. Creepy. And that's when Cherry, who was in training at the time, and the other PIE cadets would hunt them down and enforce their judgments. I shiver to think of how badass Cherry can be when she wants to. Well, one Friday night, Tati had a giant zit on the tip of her nose that she wanted gone desperately before her big date the next evening with the entire lacrosse team. That's my girl. She asked Cerise to help with her pimple problem, but by mistake, Cherry turned her into a flying monkey. It was hilarious. That would be the three of us girls. It was hilarious, and it lasted a full 24 hours before the spell wore off. I want to do that to Nina. Needless to say, Tati never asked Cherry for help again, but the unsightly huge pimple did technically go away. Win-win, am I right? Tonight, as we walked closer toward the little shop, I could see under the awning, by the flicker of the street light, the silhouette of a broad, handsome man with lightly tanned skin. Me too. Because I'm just picturing Nina as a flying monkey. Stop it. Stop it, Nancy. You're killing me, sister. Tonight, as we walked closer toward the little shop, I could see under the awning, by the flicker of the streetlight, the silhouette of a broad, handsome man with lightly tanned skin and wavy light brown hair, smoking a cigarette. He turned toward the door of the store. As if someone called out to him. Dropping his cigarette, he proceeded to rub his chest like his own heart was aching. Then turned back to us, making such intense eye contact with me that it sent a sizzle straight down my spine, and I felt like my heart was burning out of my chest, too. Rocky running around, get it off! Get it off! Get it off! Oh my gosh! Stop! 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 I'm gonna block you too. A moment later, he walked into the small shop. My breath hitched. Tati couldn't have stopped me if she tried. I grabbed her arm and hot-footed it in his direction, dragging her along behind me. Hearing the tinkling of the bells above the door as we entered, I was hit with the strong smell of incense. The shop was dimly lit, dripping candles were on every available surface, casting eerie shadows everywhere, and amongst the shelves were dark and creepy looking items and artifacts. I spotted potions, a variety of voodoo dolls, shrunken skulls, exotic looking spices, gaudy. Stop! Stop! I spotted I spotted potions, a variety of voodoo dolls, shrunken skulls, exotic looking spices, gaudy jewelry, blades, different lengths of feathers, baskets of whatnots, tribal looking masks hanging on the walls. From what little knowledge of the world I had, it appeared to be a mix of Haitian, Brazilian, African, French, and Creole items, all with an underlining tone of demonic, Wiccan, and hoodoo. I had no idea what was real and what was gimmicky for tourists, but it all certainly was eye catching, especially the giant bull skull on an altar in the far corner, shrouded by beads, cigarettes, coins, dollar bills, perfumes, and small votive candles. That area definitely seemed to almost pulse with energy or real black magic. Ah, my ears hurt. Fuck, I groaned out, my eyes bulging. What did I get the feeling this? Why did I get the feeling this shit was real? Sacknix Verity, Tonti promptly told me to shut up, hooking her arm back in mine, whether to comfort me or drag me along, or a little both, I wasn't sure. Tonti loved all things death related. So, of course, she loved it here. But I was starting to get the heebie jeebies. But whatever, I could shake it off. Gotta get my bestie's fortune read while I keep my eyes peeled for wherever Mr. McClotty scurried off to. From behind a beaded curtain, an older black African appearing woman appeared. From behind a beaded curtain, an older black African appearing woman stepped out with an unlit, thick, long cigar between her lips, complete with a headscarf and a large, colorful flower tucked under the ear. She had extravagant necklaces wrapped around her neck and bangles around her wrist, drawing my attention to her almost claw like fingernails that were painted all different shades of color. The shawl wrapped around her hunched shoulders and a knowing smirk on her face made her look kindly and mischievous all at the same time. Hey, Olivia, you missed it. You'll have to go back and watch the first part because I've died. Um, were those small horns peeking out under her scarf? I rubbed my eyes. I must have had too much to drink tonight. She beckoned her gnarled hand at us, inviting us to come through to the back room with her. We passed under the beaded curtain into a smaller back room with a chandelier above us with blue glass bottles hanging from it. In front of us were three chairs around a small table. There were candles, tarot cards, and other typical fortune teller swag scattered around on it. Get my voice right. My name is Mama Duval. You may have already seen one of my grandsons, Levi, outside. As if summoned, Levi walked around the corner, kissed Mama Duval on the cheek, whispered something to her. Hot damn, Levi is bringing sexy back. Yeah, I sing in my head. She takes the dangling cigar from her lips and passes it to her grandson. And put out that cigarette too, Levi. Girls don't like girls don't like to kiss boys that smoke. She called after him as he turned to go back to wherever he came from, a light laugh in her soothing voice as she turned to me, and I found myself unconsciously nodding. All right, I'm still filling out this voice. Now, where were we? Ah, yes. I sent you girls are wanting your fortunes told tonight. Mama Duval's grandmotherly melodious voice trailed off. As gullible as we apparently are, Tati immediately took the first chair, thrusting out her right palm to the reed. Mama Duval briefly ignored her and proceeded to light a sage stick, swirling it around the room above our heads before taking her own seat and then Tatiana's hand. My nose started to sniffle from the smoke. My dear girls, I know why you really here. The princess here has a surprising question to ask you, my true girl. Well, I'll be damned if this old lady isn't already picking up on the fact that Tati is Russian for a fairy princess. And my name Verity means truth. Or am I reading too much into this hoodoo stuff already? The temperature suddenly dropped in the room, and the lights around us dim even more as some of the candles were blown out as if by the wind. That was weird. There are no windows in here. Mama Duval seems to be in a trance-like state, dropping her head to her chest. I gulped. Yep, I definitely see tiny horns under her scarf. I lean over to whisper to Tati. She immediately shushes me. Mama Duval suddenly grips Tati's hand hard. Tati winces at the sudden pain in her hand, but allows her to continue. Mama Duval's eyes then lift up. They are solid black and all encompassing. It might be sleeting and snowing out there. It's 34. It almost sounds like sleet hitting the window. Mama Duval's eyes then lift up. They are solid black and all encompassing, and she appears to be staring straight at me. Her speaking voice no longer like her kind grandmotherly voice she had when we entered. Now it was tight, scratchy, and raw. You true girl, bear the mark. Pieces of the seven have made you, and it will take pieces of the four to break what is to come. Then Mama Duval shakes her head and shudders. Mama Duval takes her head and shudders. Her eyes clear, and she quickly rips a necklace off from around her neck and thrusts it into my hand. One of the items scratching me is roughly a tingling, sharp sensation shooting throughout my hand as a trickle of blood drips down. But still, she urges me. Put it on quick now, true girl. Put it on now, quick now, true girl. I lock the clasp in the back while looking down at it and noting it is jeweled and even appears to have feathers, bones, and even a bit of beautiful teal conch shell attached to it. Keep this on you always. It is for protection. Boom! The ground shakes and a bright white light fills the room. Suddenly, standing in the beaded doorway appears what looks like a huge heavenly angel. He is stunning to look at, but how can a man or creature who is supposed to be so godly and lovely have such a damning, hateful look to his face? Reaching behind his back, over one of his black-tipped wings, he draws forth a silver flaming short sword. I've never seen flames like that before. Tatiana uses her height to try to block me and defend us, but Mama Duval grabs her wrist, murmuring something in a mix between demonic and French. Tatiana falls to the floor, passing out after whatever Mama Duval had chanted to her. It took me a second to shake off my shock, but I then reached down and slid my 2 daggers from my garter as the angel progressed towards us. Dare I say, a look of wrath in his eyes. Nina, shut up. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your fucking 78 degrees, okay? The angels, go put your monkey suit on and go ride Rocky. Nobody wants to listen to you. The angel spares me barely a glance, appearing to look at my necklace before he throws his flaming short sword, striking Mama Duval in the chest as I let my daggers fly simultaneously toward his horrifying angelic monster. The daggers merely bounce off his chest while Mama Duval drops to her knees, grasping at the sword with blood-soaked hands. I scream in horror. Bursting around the corner, Levi comes charging forward, his own flaming blue sword, moving so quickly the blue flames nothing but a blur. He pauses for a moment. "Fuck you, Michael," he yells as he hurls his sword at the angel, who quickly dodges it before he is struck with it. He then disappears as quickly as he arrived, rushing out the front door and taking flight. Levi rushes to his grandmother and yells at me, Retrieve my sword now. I'll need it if he comes back. I rush to grab his sword and my daggers as he places his hands, which are now glowing, over her deep wound. Mama Duval reaches up, twisting her hand in Levi's shirt, pulling him down as she presses her lips to his ear to whisper something to him. Pulling his hands away from the gaping wound in her chest, he glances back at me. He looks as if he hates whatever she is telling him. She pushes him away as all life seems to drift from her body, and with her last breath coming out in a low rasp, she stills. Levi kisses her on the forehead, stands up, and grabs me by my wrist, dragging me along with him. "Wait! We have to help Tatiana and Mama Duval!" I screech, halting into his progression forward. "She had something important to tell me earlier. What if she needs me?" It's too late for Mama. It's too late for Mama, and your friend is just sleeping. It's safer for her out of the way for now. She's a soup, right? I've always been told not to out the supernatural world to strangers, but hell, this bronze statuesque man in front of me had a fucking flaming sword, and his grandmother practices black magic, so I'm willing to bet he's more knowledgeable than I am. Yes, she's dark fae, but I need to call someone to come and get her. I need to tell her fiance, Frederick. He's her mate. I take a quick panting breath. If he's her mate, true girl, he will sense her distress and will come to her faster than us trying to reach out and call him. Oh, and yeah, her secret is she wants you to be the maid of honor in her wedding. Apparently they want to elope. Surprise! He deadpans. Now grab my shoulders, grasp on tight, and hold your breath. You are wearing the necklace Mama gave you, right? I murmured my consent, nodding my head. I wrap my arms around him, pressing my head to his chest, and I start to close my eyes. Chapter 2. Ori, we love you, but we don't want to hear about your 78 degrees. So kiss my juicy ass. Chapter 2. Suddenly, my vision is filled with darkness, and I feel like I'm choking, trying desperately to not breathe in, as if I'm submerged in a riptide of the ocean. The feeling could have lasted a minute or an hour, as time seems irrelevant in this headspace I'm in. When my vision clears, we appear to be in a fairly large apartment with beautiful watercolor paintings covering most of the free space on the walls. I can see the sun starting to rise from the window across the room. I drop to my knees, the sword landing beside me. I proceed to take some steadying breaths, trying hard not to throw up. Fuck my life. This is my apartment. I come here to paint sometimes when I need to clear my head from the chattering spirits and to get some much needed space from all that black magic mama practices. It seems to draw the spirits toward me. Maybe I'll teach a painting class sometime, but that's beside the point. Sorry. Levi rushes to explain. What are you talking about? What are you? We were practically glowing in the shop with You were practically glowing in the shop with energy. You had a flaming sword, and that guy looked like an angel. Am I going crazy? He just killed your grandmother, and we just left her there. Calm down now, he speaks sternly to me, placing a hand on my shoulder before looking deeply into my eyes. I'm Levi, and everything you saw, heard, felt tonight was real. And don't worry about Mama Duval. She's actually an oracle of sorts. She has, how to say it, devilish powers she can fall back on. He stands back up, offering me his hand to help me to my feet. You're saying your grandmother is a demon? I ask exasperatedly. Not suspicious at all. Nope, not me. Yes, a pure-blooded demon, a devil of many forms. She can tell fortunes, time travel, gather spirits to her. She's a jack of all trades with her numerous demonic talents. She will resurrect back home in hell. I can explain more, but first, is that blood on your arm? Is it yours? Where is it coming from? What happened? I stare at him, slack-jawed, between his handsome face, showing such concern for me, a stranger. I feel the pull of what could only be described as a string connecting the two of us. I feel it tugging away. I feel like I've got hair or spider web or something on my face. With all the crazy I feel it tugging away at my heart, wondering if he feels it too. No, Verity, you're just losing it. With all the crazy events of the night having me twisted up, I had forgotten about my scratch. It's probably nothing, just a little nick from when Mama Duval gave me the necklace. I'm truly very sorry about what happened to her just the same. I'm Verity. I hold out my hand to shake his, my feelings rushing to the surface as though the events of the night have sobered me up and everything is hitting me at once. Instead, Levi grabs my hand, lifting my palm to his mouth, and licks the small pool of blood before placing his lips flat on my palm and sucking the wound. His pupils suddenly dilate like whatever is in my blood that he tastes, he really, really likes. And to top it off, the cord around my heart seemed to pull even tighter, like it is drawing me to him. I just wanted to curl up into his lap and mold into him until we are one. What the hell? I'm brought back to reality, shaking off my rose-colored glasses. Levi is practically a stranger and he just drank some of my blood. What the actual fuck? I screamed, yanking my hand away from him, crossing my arms and cocking my hip out with some attitude with as much attitude as I can muster. Did you just taste me? That is some fucked up shit. Why would you do something like that? Start explaining now. Shaking the lust-filled glaze from his eyes, he groans. Ugh, of course it would have to be you. Of all the hoodoo shops you could have gone to, it had to be Mama Duval's. You know, Mama told me about a prophecy, a warning of sorts. She always said that I would gain a mate bond, and the chaos that would ensue afterwards would be legendary. But I can't say I saw it being you. He glares at me with a look that could only be described as somewhere between disdain and pure, unadulterated heat. I can't tell if he wants to kick me out of his apartment or kiss me right now. Levi sighs again, raking his hand through his hair, tugging at the unruly strands. He turns back to me. Mama told all of us, her grandkids, growing up, that the apocalypse would be initiated in our lifetime, and that as protectors, we had to do whatever we could to stop it. That we were the ones that had to save the world. We were entrusted with sacred items specific to each of us that were to protect at all costs, so that when the chosen one came, we could decide individually if that person was truly worthy. And you, Verity, have already gained your first piece. The prophecy has started and there's no going back. Well, that doesn't sound ominous or any fucking thing. So I point at him, you think she was talking about me? He turns back to me and nods his confirmation slowly. Listen, dude, I was just here on a bachelorette weekend to have a good time, drink too much, and get a good fucking if I was lucky. Whomever this chosen one is, it ain't me. Try another chick. I'm just regular old Verity. I used to wish all the time to be something other, but I'm not, and I'm okay with that. I paused, taking a deep breath to continue my tirade. Nope, no powers, nothing special about me. I am simply human. Now, I just want to get back to Tatiana and get the hell out of this town. You can have your grandma's necklace back, and I'll just go back to my boring home where I will never complain again about being a born-again virgin. He quirks his eyebrow, giving me a quick grin. How long did that start? About 20 minutes ago, didn't it? Sorry, it's my dad. He told me to bring my snowbirds in because they were going to get cold. Told him he was an asshole. He says, you're the one that feeds them. I said, not the snowbirds, I don't. I don't feed snowbirds. They need to go somewhere else. I don't like snow, if you didn't know that already. No. He quirks his eyebrow at me, giving me a quick grin before steadying his features again. Listen, Verity, whether you or I want to admit it, something pulled you to the shop tonight. Mama had a vision about you at the table, then gave you the necklace, right? Yeah, it was your fault, looking all hot in that alley. I just had to follow you now, didn't I? I grumbled, trying to take off the necklace to show him, but the class won't budge. It's spelled to never be able to be taken off unless Mama Duval herself removes it. And you don't need to take it to try it anyway, he booms. Oh, well, I didn't boom that, did I? It's spelled to never be able to be taken off unless Mama Duval herself removes it. And you don't need to try it anyway, he booms. Well, fuck, tell me not to do something and I will try to do it twice as hard and take pictures along the way, I grumble. I'm serious, Verity. Leave the necklace be. It contains my piece, the shell. I gave it to Mama to hold under the necklace's protection. For whatever reason, she found you worthy. I trust her instincts, and you have my allegiance because of that. Because of her. What are you talking about, my piece? What's so special about the shell? And this necklace is just a necklace, dude. What would I need? Why would I need an allegiance? You are giving me a headache, and I promise you I am not following whatever you are trying to tell me. I shrug my shoulders and tilt my head to the side, looking at him quizzically. I'm genuinely getting confused. The spelled necklace is what Mama gave up to save you from that angel. Anyone wearing it is damn near impossible to kill. The tiny teal conch neck shell attached to it represents me. It is my piece, the one I was predestined to protect for eternity from the angels. It is only to be given to the chosen one. He pauses, looking directly into my eyes with reverence. Oh, hell, you are someone special, whether you believe it or not. Oh, oh, hell, you really are someone special, whether you believe it or not. Oh, that's him talking. Oops, sorry. Oh, hell, you really are someone special, whether you believe it or not, and I'll be damned if you take that necklace off. You'll just end up getting killed in some shitty way just because karma wants to fuck with me again. That relic around your neck is charmed in 100 different ways to protect the wearer, but it only works if you actually wear it. The necklace was a gris, a talisman made by Mama, and she gifted it to you. When Mama accidentally scratched you with it, one of the curses that are also attached to it must have kicked in. Had I not sucked the poison out of your hand, you'd be dead yourself within hours in a very gruesome way. He huffs out, and suddenly he's hugging me. Well, fuck me, I didn't see that coming. 2 seconds ago, I thought he wanted to kill me. Now I feel like I'm home. He smells like the ocean at nighttime, peaceful and calm with a crackling bonfire in the sand. Soothing yet dangerous, all wrapped up together. He lets me go and tugs me toward a love seat where we sit together. He turns to face me, our knees touching. Taking both of my hands in his rough ones, he gazes into my eyes. You could have died tonight. I know you feel a connection to me. He stares right into my soul, begging me to believe him without saying the words. Right? Now I'm the one blushing and turning my head. Levi turns my face back towards him, gently placing his fingertips beneath my chin. I think this is a real mate bond, Verity. It's destined for us to be together. I don't know how or why that little bit of your blood triggered it, but it happened. I was already drawn to you the moment our eyes met in the alley, but this solidified it. Fate again intervened, and so it seems I'm supposed to be your protector in whatever way you want me to be. Chills go down my spine, and my cheeks flush with color even more. I hear what you're saying, Levi, but I'm a human. We don't have mate bonds. I'm nobody special. Well, I'm not a human, as you probably already guessed with the portaling and the flaming sword. I am something other, a specialized demon protector. Now, please allow me to tell you a story I have heard myself numerous times, true girl. Then you can judge for yourself what you really are. Let's call it a story of origins. Oh, God, here we go. I roll my eyes. Let me guess. This begins with once upon a time, right? He rolls his eyes back at me, but otherwise ignores my sarcasm. Once upon a time is for fairy tales. This is real shit, Verity. Fate rests on your shoulders and mine if you let me. I nodded my assent. Might as well listen to the crazy he's going to spew. I mean, he's right about the connection, I feel, and he did save my life. It's probably just some whacked out form of PTSD. I'll listen, then hightail it back out of here to find my Tati. You see, growing up, myself and my 3 other adopted brothers were taken in by Mama Devon. She scared us shitless growing up with tales of all kinds of creatures and monsters. But one story she had always told us repeatedly. The tale goes something like this. A demonic baby girl was blessed or cursed, depending on the translation of the text, by the 7. The princes by the 7. They are the princes of hell. Have you ever heard of the 7 deadly sins? I nod again. That's these guys, he continues. The princes blessed this demon baby before sending her to earth to hide her from the heavenly angels. She was the chosen one, the one that would unite all the kingdoms of hell and protect the humans and soups on earth. She is also the only creature in all the world who could stop imminent doom. They each gave up a piece of their own souls and put them inside the babe's heart. These sins would help the child grow up strong, beautiful, fierce, and true. her only telling mark being a large, unique red scar. I gulp at his words. He took my chest, almost studying my tattooed boobs, but no look of arousal passed in his glance, just a hint of curiosity. You have a starburst scar, right? I'm guessing above your heart. He reaches out, placing his palm over my heart with his thumb grazing over my raised scar, hidden under my tattoos. But I don't push him away. Heat seemed to radiate from his palm, and his hand started to glow again. A sense of well being and safety seems to be pushing into my very soul. Yeah, my foster parents told me it was some kind of weird birthmark thing, but I still felt like a freak. I was teased about it growing up by other kids and uber self conscious about it. When I was old enough, that is where I started my first collection of tattoos. I wanted to hide it. It is beautiful. He tilts my face up to gaze into my eyes. Fuck me. You are beautiful and you are special. Mama was right. I think this prophecy is about you. That means that the angel Michael was here to try to kill you before you could even find out who you truly are. If he or one of the other angels get to you, it's lights out for the world, no do overs. The tale says the true girl is a demon queen in her own right. The seven soul pieces she has in her additional protection, but she needs the four with her to prevent the apocalypse. Well, Levi, break this down for me in terms, dude, because I'm not sure what you're expecting from me. I say in exasperation. Again, I just want to go home. Back to my boring job, my boring life. You can have my phone number. Maybe we can go on a date sometime. But I really got to go. I say, standing up and walking towards the front door. Levi rushes in front of me, blocking the door with his body. Again, Verity, you don't get it. You aren't leaving. You are the future queen. If you want to save your friend Tatiana, hell, all the soups and humans, period, you got to put your big girl panties on, nut up, and listen to what I have to say. I hurry up and go back to sitting on the left seat. Levi paces back and forth in front of me. You have to meet all of the four, complete their task, get their secret item, hell, maybe even fuck them. We all have our own requirements, and I don't know what they all will expect, but you have to get the rest of the guys on your side. We are the only hope the world has to prevent the apocalypse, and baby, it's coming. The four, and what's this we stuff? Weren't you paying attention, or are you just slow? His rude ass didn't just insult me while asking for my help. Ugh, man. He takes a deep breath and continues. Ugh, sorry. I know I'm bad at this, he says, gesturing between him and I with his hands. But yeah, so the four horsemen: war, conquest, famine, and death. You have to meet them all. He ticks them off one by one on his fingers. One is Vlad, or as the rest of the world knows him as Vlad the Impaler. He is the vampire god, the horseman known as Famine. One is Anu, known in history as Anubis. He is an Egyptian god, the horseman of death. One is Eric. He is better known as the Greek god of Ares, the horseman of war. Okay, you said something about conquest too? Fuck, I'm screwing this all up. It shouldn't be thrown at you quickly like this, but we are already behind, given you don't know your true origins as the destined demon queen. Dude, fuck all the way off. This makes no sense, and quite frankly, my nerves are shot as it is. And even if I do believe what you're saying, who does that make you in the scheme of things? I am one of the four protectors. I am a demon, Leviathan, but I go by Levi. He gestures with his hand up and down his body for emphasis. I can also shift into my giant sea serpent form, which is probably why you felt like you were going to throw up when we portaled. You probably swallowed quite a bit. And if you didn't, the feeling of being stuck in a riptide probably made you nauseous. Water is an element I can use to control, but I, he takes a deep breath. I am one of the four horsemen. I am conquest, and I am one of your four fated mates. My brothers Vlad, Anu, and Eric will be the others. And that's the last thing I hear before I pass out. If somebody told me I was going to have a reverse sound, I would probably pass out too. Chapter 3, and it's a really short chapter. It's only like 2 pages, so bear with me. I'm awake with an aching head and a stitch in my side. What the actual fuck? I groan as I sit up. Why am I on the damn floor? Then it all comes rushing back. Shit. What was in those drinks? Or could all of this be real? I decided to call out to see if Levi is real and still around. Levi! Yes, true girl. He pops around the corner looking relieved. I'm glad you're finally awake and ready to start the next part of our journey. It's important that we do this quickly. So get up now. Now. Just who do you think you are? And some mate you are, leaving me on the floor. I have an annoyance. Asshole. He may be hot as sin, but that doesn't mean I have to sit here and take his crap. I think I've had about enough of this. Listen, Verity, please. I wanted to move you off the floor, but you will also find I'm big on consent. I didn't feel comfortable touching your body while you were unconscious. I could tell you were not in any imminent danger. He lifts his glowing hands to show me. So I made a judgment call and left you to sleep it off. I have checked on you frequently, though, and for whatever it's worth, I did throw a blanket over you to preserve your modesty and to keep any chill away. He rushes to say, fine, I guess that was pretty decent of him. Verity, I can prove to you what I'm saying is true about the bond and all. There's a special drink I can make for you that would open your eyes to everything, allowing you to see it for yourself. Would you allow me to make it for you? I'm intrigued. Hey, Teddy. Okay, I reply. But if this is some random bullshit or a roofie attempt, just know I have on a patented specialized nail polish that changes colors when drugs are in my drink. Just know I will stab you. I'm not some pushover. Standing up, patting my daggers on my thigh, thanking the devil I remembered to grab them before leaving the shop, I storm off in the direction of what I'm hoping is the kitchen. This apartment has a strange layout. Levi follows quietly behind me, right there at the end of the hall. I remodeled so that my kitchen was beside the balcony. I love eating outside when the stars are shining above me. Plus, during Mardi Gras, it gives me a badass view of topless women. He throws a wink my way. Perv, is it bad that I kind of like his alpha attitude? Levi gets busy making this special drink of his, and I'm not sure what I can watch him make it. He's a demon. It's probably contains an eye of newt or spider legs and snail slime. Or is that only for witches? Ugh, my stomach is now rolling with the idea. The clanging of glass and possibly metal can be heard from behind me as I wait as patiently as I can. Finally, after what seems like forever, he's finished. Here you go, true girl. Bottoms up. He seems to be anxiously awaiting what's going to happen. I slyly steer my fingertip into the drink. Came back clean. No color change to my nail polish. I hold up my nose. I hold my nose because I'm totally still suspicious of this concoction and gulp it down in one big swallow. This drink surprisingly tasted like salted caramel with a hint of vanilla. It's smooth and I'm mesmerized by the taste until the strange tingling starts in my chest, burning its way throughout my entire body. It's not a terrible sensation. It's almost relaxing. Then it hits my core and I'm damn near buckling at the knees from the heat. Holy shit, I feel like I need to be fucked hard and fast. So this is what Nina's been drinking. What the hell did he give me? Is there such a thing as Viagra for women? I'm doubled over, moaning and trying desperately to relieve the ache that's starting to grow unbearable. How are you feeling? Levi asked from right beside me. When did he even move? I added my blood to seal the mate bond. I didn't think you would react like this. I've heard about how the first bond can have the strongest pull, but what I mean to say is, what can I do to help you? Does it hurt? He's damn near panicking now. Serves him right. I'm not sure how to take care of this by myself because at this point, I'm literally on fire with lust. And that's all you get. Besides my goofy hair. It doesn't want to do anything but stand up this way. So, True Calling, an apocalyptic Why Choose Romance, Paranormal Paragons, Book 1. And I think I saw Nina post it up here. It's by Ashley Hayton. It's on Amazon for $3.99 or on KU. Yeehaw! So, you guys better be staying warm. I don't want anybody freezing up on me. I got another live read tomorrow night. Woohoo! Vincey's still here. Whoop whoop. So, tomorrow night, Aaron Spear. Ooh, there's going to be a house full tomorrow night. The Wild Girls of Red's Erotic Bookshelf will be here. Yeah, baby. And we are reading Undisputed. So, everybody show back up tomorrow night. I have no clue what this book's going to be about, y'all. I have none. I got it somewhere in my Kindle, but I don't know where it's at. But anyway, so go get, if you like demons and reverse harems and all that paranormal shit, go get True Calling because it sounds like it's going to be good. And this is only the first book. She's going to keep going. I have a feeling Ashley was listening in and just couldn't get in. God, that's the only thing about YouTube that drives me nuts. All right, so I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Stay warm. Vincey, batten down the hatches, girlfriend. We got a couple more days of this shit, so I will talk to the rest of you later. Stay warm, stay dry, and happy reading. Have a good evening.